boys aba omo ni hwe kra de omo ketu adom botoma omo de bato haxa mixture ene haxa capsule de ebi wo ho esa to anamo na ko pebito bi se also ne tamfo kese pa no also te haxa mixture ene haxa capsules nka wo dwane ten also ya yade bone se wadidi o se wonidi yo wo ha mu na yade e ba aduane to ye ma hey aduane anto ye ma hey okoya ni so na okoya hu yi a sabia no bo se moja diafra oh my goodness yade bone bo so kokko hihyew na aduane hihyew obo oki oso na no ma bi pie ba nkankankankan and I myself to an Monaco Haxa mixture and Haxa capsules. The other woman say FDA for Jatum say Sadrona na Yadi Ejina Adikutia also. Oko Kaichi drug liner. Repatch Ventures ni Hello Seba. Ubenya Arabia to everyone. Medina Pharmacy, Medina a card pharmacy. And a time my little George health shop. Hey, I was here for one little George. What much are there? Dr. George not to say. Little George shop on a player. A day, Osabeka Haxa mixture and Haxa capsules at top. Kashwa Educard Pharmacy. At 240-0240-238-310 and a 0203-822-855. Haxa mixture, Haxa capsules. Also, town for no. And Jack has said, come on, lawyer Edgy Tamaklo. Message Amos blessings. Amos blessing. I mean, Nims and Ania Densa. Oh, Amos. One name Anthony Nukpenu. Greta Cry executives Nina. In fact, NDC executives work Ghana for Nina. Oh, beautiful work. Where you find a clinical finishing. Clinical finishing. National Chairman, my NDC Emmanuel Kono. Honorable Johnson, I see you doing it here. Baby, will be a special greetings and come out. Moses Clinic and Herbal Center and every Wajina Sailor Cinnamon so day, Moses Garlic Capsules Saba. When you draw a check your cholesterol level, it's also one Moja Nidia Fusani ye. Number be a yeti, you know, and muscles, no, and Sadanya Jumano. And your Moses Garlic Capsules, and I'll bet you now some ye. It's also a immune booster. A woman one day better our pom. See Yadia Hokwine. Now, Moses Clinic and Herbal Center, the old time. Wide range of sicknesses. Say you posted to oneself. Say you person come on with a toye. Say you obane bema mosheba munyaba. Hypertension, diabetes, sciatica, typhoid fever, malaria, stroke. Fadina bedanya, including was same wasem for bedanya. Our Moses Clinic and Herbal Center. Or dental barrier only post station, you know, in a DNA mushe. I feel so 8 years old, I can see anymore. Ghana Highway Authority yard no Accra Ministries one or war. A Jack would do their school for the deaf no any new moody and we share. Coco loss and baby will be a chow. Kumasi Ahinama Cocobain, but you're from 0244 068447 0244 068447. Mr. Edward Minkah. A special good morning to you. Kofi Boatin Wood at the same. Eric Amwell Duro. First Class Ventures. Maybe I should be a Michano pay. Agboso Herbal Clinic, Doc, Mamin Casa Winchow. I mean, for be a doc, visit. Maybe I do be a doc. We a dog visit. Wouldn't baby a new person. What did you make I say? Obaso Hoto Bema. A dinner or Barney de Frono, Mempe. Was a one represent Yenina. A drana no Bob Banana Finance or Barney sorry no Mompaye, no King Kind Bible. No, you drago Pramano Swap. And your one year Bompayo. And your hot na Yako King Kind Bible. And your friend Albebusan and Kurano, and then Kurano, now Bob Benas. No, Bema, Brabaya Juma. Baya Juma never friend tell. Abano di Shawa Fesi. A Yagbozo Herbal Clinic. Doctor said, bra. Said about 1 minute man, I had the front to be trapped. Brabatu, a word in Bema. etu aboba no ano nye nam enam sa nti I want to atoaso no abeya akwansidie ama wo bema bragbozo herbal clinic jomacha kwa okwashima no ba himfie no from 0241 750 282 0241 750 282 and 0557 402 696 then Krabata na Waterman community 25 Savannah Junction on the Deft Track State no and the DM from 0557 402 696 Ora standard baby I will be a mechow Bridget Bunny mechano pay after wa ba adwuma because the last time I Bridget to no dom eba Royal Chapel International Sprinters Road Revival me hwe ni mo se kwasia da ya nimu yi Bridget so wutie mi a kwasia da ya nimu yi mo beba ona ma baje Royal House Chapel aboso te say the other time no mo ye na mo mra ne ani asane ani ahurusie Reverend Shaw the Hen say Mache baby a wo bia Pogas Apostle Walanyo Kofiagbo Michao baby a wo bia Apostle General Sam Kranjankra a very good morning to you sir 21st clinic gusua ye sciatica expert Oto asintini didi mu ko na ase wono oya na otia na no ana sciatica yo and as you betu ase ajo bo awura 21st clinic in fact sciatica tibia ono na sha ase dan na di e de kire Ghana fo nyina na amanfo nyindi ko pem se wo pe ho anu aduro e hwa na Rwanda 40 ye no say etiade we e bibi mamu ha e na Rwanda for frɛ Dr. Blessed Foster ene ne dom e de omu ko Kigali Mountains Kigali ekropon wo Rwanda e no mo de ne ko hye ye hotel kesie bi hotel ne fe omode no mo kwhye ho na ye born abaso say hey wo ye bibini a wote wo Ghana wo de abibifo enro ane ekwan etu sciatica yase ene ye born abaso na Rwanda fo agina di na bibi mamu amama hodo agina di na wo Ghana ni Bawura 21st clinic Dr. Blessed Foster nene dom ombehwe wo ye on Krabata maku du wotwe wo man Ghana but from 0540 311 311 0540 311 311 21st clinic omde sompa suno and omde nante 21st clinic the sompesu and nante for your sciatic expert Obama menyum na nkasa ni abo and then your party or radio is on, your party or TV is on. Happy birthday in Koma. Memuna to Bint Utman Mensa. Memuna to Bint Utman Mensa. His Excellency Diasakakra. Me who say what's a da? Okay, for the first time, yeah.
What's your for? The dead. Hey, Bishane Sakamajan so. Pese me miss chances. Try to see when she me home. Miss a bin ya puna performances. Ready.
Hey, Pame. I mean, so me done. So I quite be a besha and tell me, Saniama. Boy, Chile. But the Amengado. What was a kama, the other was a conya mini. So a Maserati. Oh, God. Who was sick at Chas and where giant cry and tea. Honorable worry. His Excellency Victor Smith and I don't know what. But once again to you, Memuna to Bint Utman Mensa. Happy birthday to you and your entire family. No, in fact, it's coming from your entire family. And this is to you. Happy birthday. Enjoy your day. God bless you as well. By His Excellency Victor Smith, Kane, Ghana, Bayana, Monsini, Emma, the United Kingdom, and our media sama makuma kreti ye mahomia ma I dey say kwaje mo se dey panini dia woni ne bako na widiem woni ne bako na widiem eno na ewie chebo so wanya 41%.
Akwabo,
Thank you, William. Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Well, good to see you. Good to see that Bia was smiling on the name. This is a new day.
Yes.
These are very good times for Ghana.
Absolutely.
Ghana, you fire into my pay fra. John Mahama, a Juma Cassia Dianso. But your tears, yes, Onyami, and we be Quanaman.
Wow.
Ghana for almost you no more son. Difference, you know. The massive supporter Onya in the vote in elections, you know.
Yeah.
Bro, I didn't so. Nanso, so Onyami sa omua.
Would you wait in your day?
Would you wait in your day? Ghana for decided.
Yeah.
The Ghana for we should all learn lessons from that.
Yes.
I went round the country virtually, campaigning on the streets. And I was reading, say we were ahead of them, but I didn't know by so much.
Oh, wow.
I'm just reading, let me reading Crawford. I did on body language, and I come market, you go street, cars, you trim. You are assessing it because every time whether are we getting there or we are having issues, and then issues I better say address in idea. But I knew we were going to beat them. Meaning say any bidding kunim no. Now so over 1 million votes.
Wow.
Said the number they say 2016 omunya
1 million votes.
So this one's over.
Abroso. Wow.
Ojankupa kasembia chire sa crop of MPP for now mo be diga na nya no.
Yeah.
A mo tia de so sisia no.
Yeah.
Mutuana Mompa, Nkanya Mowie. I'm sure Dr. Baumian there on your politics view.
Oh, sir.
He wasn't the politician.
He wasn't
the politician before. He wasn't the politician before. But a bit of his with a PhD in economics or whatever. And Mumman or so, I'm from yeah, didn't back Ghana. That's my catch order.
Yes, yeah.
Dr. Do forum time. Oh, yeah, he was a deputy manager.
Wow.
I was a central bank.
Bank of Ghana.
I'm didn't afraid about
buy.
Enti yenim where he has come from. Na I'm say ebinu so nsa e di na call nsuo ni finfin e ma wa mem. What araman kan ye.
Eno no. Nsuo ni finfin so de. Undare da ye ko.
He a politician. You know, who said the one mem. Now I believe his body language all can say waji atumu no. Who say on your politics view?
Oh, Samu.
Oh, he will not be.
But what kind of
MBP for to not train. Me na me catch it all. MBP. I been go say you can't say money. MBP hardcore for me. Yeah, catch him ni azema mo efa man.
In fact, Cynthia Morrison, Ekasa Assembly Chair live TV show. I think Enrich Enra. Okasa no Enrichi. Okasa Assembly Chair.
But if only P.
Yeah.
Say sa kwaro on your politician. Na o banner say o wadwin pobia ebe boa Ghana na one fam boa na Akufo-Addo one fam boa Ghana. This is not an individual help. It is for the country. It is our Ghana first, you know. It is critical. Ghana for in fact we have won in a big way.
Yes.
But we know say in Twana Mompa. Ghana for be yeshidin. No that techo. Big time. Kofi Kofuga almost jubilate. Now the only thing I ever say you use sa kwenye. Yedi ekasa kire
no yeah
and MPP for kwa omo lusa e omo ya
yeah
say Ghana no we shouldn't spoil it
yeah
mati say ebinum ye basabasa ebinum gbowura warehouse say tasin dem and ebinum so say you take position
yeah
san sem hu no MPP for no be the buy take position we be kaya
the kaipa
take position for what
2016
yeah why you take position what then there's a government and if there's a government, we will still have to get because it's constitution.
Yeah.
Won't mean because you win election.
And transitional process no grano. Or China and on Beshasi. So meaning that even the incumbent no grano, a pentem, also typically Kabecha Kakra.
Yeah.
But wait here, Nanado did a congratulatory message, Mayana Pa, President Mahama Yensha, Ukwada Yana, Yan launching committee near Quanim.
It's important. Government is a continuum. To me, nkase ye winning to yense omano. Nti ye chita for the mesremo endra mi hu bi endra mi nya course. Efi MCs bi ho say yen crofo ni bi abowura omo warehouse.
Wow.
So we take over. There's a government in place. The constitution is still going on. This is not a coup d'etat. the people have spoken. Say yes, it's a leadership of Ghana. Nefama John Dramani Mahama. And you say, or you be keko, why you be paying?
But to go, I did a man call for yes, sir. Is it a case or yaw near before and go for me? And I'm out for whom yam and I'm vandalizing now. More offices, I can say, yeah, take you over.
Ghana for a before we started from the year 2017.
Okay.
In Omochita for no. President Akufo-Addo Antumi unstoppable.
That's right.
President Mahama. One month directive and Sami Jemfi press conference.
Yeah.
And he was like, tell them to stop it.
And President Mahama
Now, it is important we don't destroy to build. Ibet twaso Ghana sika and ye use. It is a sometimes people misbehave.
Yeah.
And in a President Mahama office hono. Nipa be friend say your boys need to abontia. They have disrespected them. Say yes, stop casting, you know, they are misbehaving. They can control and confirm. Say yes, we can only try and announce to them. But there are so many people who are jubilating in different parts of the country,
right.
And they are not behaving well. And we've made an appeal to them to back off. And I'm using this platform, and every platform you get, you know, you back say munya muntu mubuase.
Yeah.
Muntu mubuase.
Yeah, that's what
I say. Muntu mubuase na basabasa ya no ebetumi de how abre wa wo ye basabasa no kra. And a criminal offense. A criminal offense if you go and vandalize or take state property or do anything which is illegal. Nobody,
yes.
And that's the position we are taking.
And what about,
then stop, calm down. That is the whole thing. The people should calm down.
What about attempt at MPP so and making say what take advantage at the trump when you say NDC mom a violent party or so indiscipline or me and control call for and all of a sudden person minded Danny Butu no dasu abemu betima react. That press conference no only say
as a reckless assembly yambano euphoria. I don't know how they say it in tree. Enijem broso.
Yes.
Obi dinkunim in a big way, and we are happy. People are excited, and in the excitement, no, ebinum enshada and behave well. And in a appeal, no, we can speak to them through the media and other platforms. Say, "Mun calm down." You know, we will try and sort out everything that we have to sort out. Now, so ebinum quite catch and say, "Mun tu anamo enimi yara." Bad people like what MPP are banning. Almost the name may be bad dodgy. We say a bad dodgy documents. They say those things are possible.
Yeah.
Now, so we should go through Yema Compasso and never deal with those problems.
I get it.
Any genuine and there's so many aje. Now, men yeah their moyan and I say me TSC been call a free zones. Say you want to take over office. We take over office and say, what do you know about what they do there? You can't do that. You can't take position. That take position, where did it come from? And yeah, before they buy it.
Yeah.
I buy a fair cardboard. Somebody was saying those things. Take position.
Yeah, take position.
Take position saying, oh, any gem so many pakasa. Now, so there's a leadership. At that time, the leadership of the MPP, they buy the one who two about national security, maybe you're treating form of
Bruce.
You want to record. Any time boy, we
grab the Flagstaff House.
And I got the father. But I could be Kumasi.
And no, you did a court. No, any train. I say, if okay, where national security,
yes. I know more quarters. So me no, these are reckless behavior. Any jumbo so many behavior, sir. Now in the process, you know, if you are running all over the place with the first day. Motors and idea more any jambos, you know, who to me proud.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ebusiafo, the member of parliament for the good people of Kole, the Honorable Dr. Zaneto Ajima Rollins. Oh, Perez music no yet ready, Maminana. Me the Baba Yadi. Say, Edamema, I ready. His Excellency Victor Smith side is the turn of Honorable Dr. Zaneto Ajima Rollins. Here we go. Victory number collect clotte.
Come on.
And watching her at the collection center. Ebrana emano bana bibia de di pefe say ekurudi aba. No crowd the phone. And a earpiece na so.
Mawo boy wale.
And a nyom neighbor. And we dia sa.
E fonko bogbeno. Enyela yito ikekamo. Ekokuranya bano. Mawo boy wale mawo no e. E fonko bogbeno. Enyela yito ikekamo e. Ekokuranya bano. Ma wachepo. Bio shele fenshona shia. Ma wachepo. Ma ho shele fenshona shia. Enyela yito ikekamo e. Ekokuranya bano. Enyela yito ikekamo e.
Forget about the rocks and listen to the best power 97.9 FM. Power 97.9 FM, the game changer.
I am the Lord, come on,
The one who keep thee. Yes, he's the Lord.
I am the Lord.
Wakra asonimu Edim Kunimdie Abotre Edi Amano Dr. Zanato Ajima Rollins, Member of Parliament, Collect Clotte and Persuasion. The spirits were with her. Me say, what's your gap now? Gapro. Hello. Hello.
School prefect, please.
Please, I'm writing names of talkatives. Your Excellency, what about DP? Anyway, Honorable Akwaba.
Yeah.
Bibia Boko, dear. Mr. Mohoye. Not Valentino, I don't find Kakra. Gapro.
Sir, my sister, I feel say Usukro, Usufo, it's me a dinner. Oh, Bano. Now, Jane said, eh? Oh, yeah, boy, Germano. One and baby. I feel last minute, our Bano. Okay, to see Kananka also the projects, no, a bayano. And Kaya now would the chichen microphone, no bit me dear Babadi Abadad and Kofana. Sabio, baby, I do not garden for you near be. By election, I was in North Crawford. The only Kohunino, I knew how
That's
much
right.
more over here.
That's right.
And I think at the end of the day, thanks be to God, people were discerning, and we're not going to be deceived.
Would you agree with almost say wind of change, not so a play a factor, a war or victory, not so. Say no be a ariata so baby agree go for your bromo.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But I think that I suppose that fatigue, in a sense, reflected in the low voter turnout, because in Clotte College, our voter turnout is usually around 70+%.
Yeah.
In our elections. Now, this was the lowest turnout we've had in a very, very, very long time.
Yeah. And victory way no. It's now my dear mouth because at the collections. Let me just say video no.
Yeah.
And that video say what was screen so I give it to me at the two screen so that video is so significant. Your reaction, a better now share numbers no. Tell me they're not running through your mind at that moment. Now what born you man now with the asano. Surprise kakra.
Well, it was two things. And it was this one. It was just a Thanksgiving dance. But I think I was not unaware. Na minim say na odisika e mankro for power. And to be very honest, at a time when things are difficult, you never know really to what extent people will be influenced by money.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway. Yeah. I think for me, I was happy because it shows, say, you know, people can't just judge from a distance and make assumptions. Say, nipa korona or bana or this sika pi ba and crofo funding no or they card den banti automatically, you know, it means so be winning election. I think we are evolving.
Yeah.
And our electorate is also evolving.
Yeah.
And this election was, well, I think it was extremely tense coming into it. But if you look at the way people carried themselves, you know, I think that it was really exemplary. You know, Ghana has really by how we conducted ourselves. And I feel, say, what we must realize and say elections is not just a single day. What happens in the aftermath of it is just as important. I think I'll use this platform first and foremost to speak to all Ghanaians. Do not allow this whole, you know, win to make you become a lawless person. There was those who have done wrong will be dealt with appropriately, but don't take the law into your hands. Otherwise, you will rather become the first victim.
But impetuousness in the free. His Excellency Victor Smith. And I don't know, just probably, I mean, any GM now will be a film.
I think. I think what happened when MPP won power in 2016 is still very fresh on people's minds.
Wow.
And I remember, a lot of people were saying, yeah, when it pass, some of them will do the same thing. But at the end of the day, we are not like those people. And let's show that we are not. You know, yeah, when it pass, we are an incoming government.
Yeah.
Which means that we should set an example.
Yeah.
We will do the right thing. You know, I'm just appealing, whether out of happiness or frustration or anger, whatever the feeling is, let's just restrain ourselves.
Okay.
What has to be to be done will be done. And I think that President Mahama has committed himself by saying, all of these things that people have done wrong will be addressed. You know, I think it's number 21 on the list of things, if I'm not mistaken. So.
I wouldn't know. On the list of 120 and normal also
yes,
within
the first 120 days, is one of the things that he's actually mentioned. You know, a lot of those things, especially to do with recruitment, all these things within the agencies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, your presidency, so GAPA, President Mahama Dema, Dr. Alaji Mahamadou Bawumia, because of Dr. Dejitaba, I'm saying fluency. He said, Dr. Alaji Mahamadou Bawumia, Shegapro. Did you expect to say Bekwasa?
To be quite honest, I think I was a bit surprised. And I think we knew we would win, but we weren't quite sure by what margin. You know, there was a low voter turnout as well. So this was as much a victory as it was also a protest vote against the NPP. And I feel, the pressure on us as NDC to perform is extremely high. Now, I think that for that reason, the grace period is also going to be shorter in the eyes of Ghanaians. And I think that the positive side, and President Mahama, we're the president, so this is not new. And I would hope, like at this point in time, based on what he said, we're going to hit the ground running. Yeah, because we don't have the luxury of time. And for him to reiterate the opposite in the next 120 days shows that commitment and readiness. And I believe, we're not now finding our feet. I think what we may be surprised by is the extent of the rot, because these people managed their PR quite well. Inti bebia nyema enya aprokrap no me sure Yebedi government who the extent of it. And I really hope President Mahama be yimu amagana for who the extent of it. Said the people will understand how much we will have to do to repair, the damage that has been done. So that faster in
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that level of transparency, Ghana for one who said, look, this is what we have actually come to meet. Then people will have a better understanding of the extent, because there's been a lot of airbrushing and photoshopping over the years. But I think it's time to let Ghanaians understand exactly what we meet when the time comes. And I believe, sir, the fact that we have an overwhelming majority of members of parliament, for me, is a bigger responsibility for us to use it positively for the people of Ghana. And I believe that, sir, when it comes to the issue of power, of incumbency, your ability to be responsible and to be restrained when you have what is almost as close to absolute as it can get when it comes to your control. I think that also is important. We must be guided. We must be guided. Say it's not business as usual, and it's not for us to come say, no. The reason Ghanaians voted them out is because Ghanaians don't want that.
And they see some also more different from Momo.
Precisely.
And you need to prove it.
That's correct.
Your Excellency, wouldn't Honorable Dr. Zaneto Ajima Rollins Yadrin say a Jumani Brenie, and in fact, said ye a normalcy cost show a brainy walk. So meaning say holiday no crown puno a bear to a bear Britiawa. Would you also agree, say His Excellency Nanado Danko Kufado, Amanai and Tem Crown Mobile, ensuring say transitional committee no better or more Jumase entem?
Because we don't have much time. 1 month, to swearing, it's already, started counting.
Yeah.
Now, so Basabasa and where you see a strong very quickly, working together with the sitting government. And say, Yenka say, you take positions, said the man for be, And for those who are listening, our supporters, it doesn't mean that we will not, look at the things that we promise we will do, when we take office. But then just you should take it upon yourself to enter. Yes, President Zaka, yes, that is not part of us. It's not our culture, and they should not adopt that old culture now. It's our government. We won't destroy to build. Like I said, Moemba Modena will hold things together. I agree with her perfectly that Jumayo. And to say, I see a formal transition team now. Immediately, we are ready. We were ready before, and once the power came, we were already on the ground.
Yeah, and books now, Doctor can say, Yem, said by a Ghana for Behu Proyena, na ye de a cardone, a dusham, express brain to arguing us. Oh, she knew Ghana yet.
When the dreams are.
Never more dreams are
over 750 billion debt.
Nay, a PR no more.
Say
that one,
whatever we can take back for the people of Ghana, we will take back.
Okay.
And it should be a lesson to other future governments and our own government that would deep Bonia will come back. The people of Ghana will come back for you. It be not happen to Sankofui. No more say agrobin the they were even saying that they had won the election even before the election.
Yeah.
Somebody from that Jubilee House told me, say, in Komomudi or say, Abandi are 2 years ago. Me 117 buy. Let me see who to them to Abani. I'm not play the This is what they get. This is the punishment God has given them.
But Sadia ya no more can say ya to Abani, and dining when you were collation centers I would walk. Any police stations I would want Asra for any so muba. Honorable. And then when
I'm say it did because at the end of the day, yenim say you win and lose elections at the polling station and collation centers we made sure say their course it wasn't just a case of the polling agents a limited number of people. We opened it up. Be vigilant. And we made sure say at the time of counting paparazzi, everybody was there with their phones, filming everything, because now everything is happening in real time. That's right. We digitized the election.
You what?
No, honestly, I think, sir, we've come a long way in terms of our appreciation of the importance of doing things right at the polling station. And I think we got it right this time. Now, Faye, with the level of commitment that we had from our people, it really made the difference because Ghana 4 had their eye on the NDC to do the right thing. Every time I ever call around during a campaign, the message we kept hearing consistently, it was 2 things. In fact, it was 3. 1, make sure you protect the votes after we've queued to actually cast our votes, number 1. The second one was that, Bano, yen dealing with the issues, like yen cleaning house. And number 3, if we don't know and we repeat what these people have done, they'll come after us. So the message from the public was very clear. And I believe so we will abide by what we've promised to do. We've done the first already. I got 2 others.
Which is protecting their votes.
We've done that part. We've made sure, said that the voice of the people has prevailed. And the Akano is to make sure, said we deal with the rot that has been left for us, and making sure we live up to the highest standards.
But even the first one, Amafosa, as we speak in Ashanti region and other parts of the country, even in Greater Accra, votes in people NDC coalition just winning, NPP air contested, even though it was some parts of money. Pink sheet, there are instances that easy say the pink sheet in your vandalize your say no. There were even instances where I have for no north. I say presiding officer no you bedouano chino call baby baby or how will all this come to an end be new to the benefit of the NDC honorable?
I believe, sir, the Electoral Commissioner, once I announce the outcome of elections, she must prevail upon her staff to do the right thing. Because at the end of the day, all of us are subject to the law. And if, as a member of the Electoral Commission, there's something you're meant to do and you're not doing it, there are regulations which guide your work. And one of them said they can just come and abduct people. Should think again. If there was a time when we were living in a lawless country, we intend to pull the reins back on that. And we are reiterating, say, so we NDC ni ampa. We succeed. Stop vandalizing anything.
That's right.
Stop being lawless. Let's allow the law to take its course with those who have committed the crimes. Don't allow yourself to be the first victim of our victory. And see, I believe, say, I think that cool heads will prevail in those particular areas, And now that the bulk of results abano, I think we need to focus our eyes on those particular areas and make sure the right thing is done.
Yeah, Your Excellency also can say. I mean, in areas abaning suns and so on, you go to a contested. At the end, was NDC. Yes, said a send your motion anymore. A baby dimafa because Parliament today, the Magia farmer is a graduate. Minority in Bababe and Niddle, I don't know what to call them. Niddle minority and answer the
no, because during the election proper, there's certain things happened that basa about some constituencies. Okay, you cannot just overturn the outcome of the elections just because you've lost the thing. You are trying to claw back some of the seats and some way. Something happened in Abuakwa North. I happened to be there, and the candidate, the MPP candidate, and then in Crawford, what they were trying to do to go to some polling stations, while the voting was taking place towards the end, around 4:30, to try and put ballot papers. But Omudu said, "I'm not for any brainer." I think they just calculation number to Kano. There was a pickup with some heavy guys in it, and they were carrying ballot boxes. Eventually, they were confronted by some of our people. There was a shootout. 2 people were hit. 1 has died. But it hasn't come out. I was only told this morning that one of them died.
So making the number of people who died,
Yeah, what were their guns?
Within the regions of 5.
What were their guns about these things? And then eventually they took off. The ballot boxes, they've been to meet a rescue. These are ballot boxes with the papers. But it's not the genuine ones. So they were stuffing places. And they almost stampeding Crawford, giddy bahwana, as the alpha ballot box. Then eventually police will retrieve it, but they would have swapped it already. That's the kind of game they were trying to play. But it was difficult for them. Nipa go around 3 o'clock. I went for near Bejina Hall.
Yeah.
International who quiet stampede now. So they back off. The resultant effect is that 1-point-something million they between. They wanted to even put more in the ballot just for Bawumia to win.
Wow.
So Omoka said, these were the things they were trying to do, and now almost says from.
Yeah.
They've accepted it.
Yeah.
Nankaida more try say more bet overturn a parliamentary ones in the AMA he cry. I hear it be writers.
Yeah, she's one.
They were trying to take it. They said that man go there and YNBB or that man Abuja Napo. Our guys, just sit down there and allow within Chimmy and Sasa. They are trying to. They want to bring us down, but 184 is 2/3. That's what they don't want us to have. They want to bring it below to 200, 184. They won't succeed.
And for you as a member of parliament, I mean, what else can be done? Say, look, because the name of the game is evidence. Pink sheet, say a casamamo. And here are instances
in some of the parts, in some parts of Ghana, no. EC official, they say pink sheet no base, no. Ya best not say anything on what
But pink sheet no will duplicate. Into a day now.
Duplication also, NDC will be, MPP will be.
Precisely.
Omumia no nyina so omonjo mo e de ni ntum. We say menje MPP de ntum. We say menje NDC de ntum.
Na so now woman in Rani.
And this is in Ashanti region.
Yes. You know, as I was saying earlier on, I think at the end of the day, you know, we really need to be a little bit more careful about this. I think in 2020 we saw what happened. Initially, na enim say ya winning seats be a share no na gidi abana. Next thing you knew, the number of seats had actually gone down. I think we must not allow this to keep happening. It's a dent on our democracy and our reputation as a country. You know, people should stop putting their selfish ahead of the country's peace, stability, and our democratic evolution.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I think that we really need to look at it. And the person who is saying send a pink sheet national, I think must also be held responsible. Must also be held responsible. When I say electoral of a POB edit in a pink sheet coffee, what do you mean you're taking it home? You're meant to go to the collation center. And people like that should be held responsible and should be held to account. Said the next time no so offer a juma say woko electoral commission a juma, whether it's as a presiding officer or returning officer or whatever the case may be, you should understand that you will be subject to some kind of disciplinary or sanction actions or sanctions, knowing very well said the job you're doing, you're not doing it there to protect a party. Because it has
beyond electoral ESC and also.
Yes.
It's also the case of Nkovua. As a result of Basabasa, you have also collation centers. Obi Kra, we have member Sabre, one on a member of parliament. You said that target and say, one of you who everybody to your. I'm talking about now, what Utu Senya is Empress also. She had to hide.
It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And I think at this point, what I would actually do is I would actually call on the IGP to do the needful. You know, we've heard him, you know, issue statements. We've heard them deploying people to all sorts of situations. This is also an important time for that to be done. Because Yenim say when it comes to election violence is pre, during, and post. And the post, you know, until we have all the results in, we are still in that post-election period where potentially things can happen. And I believe that if, you know, to avoid a dent on his, you know, record regarding how this election was presided over, no, I feel say he needs to actually also be up and doing. Yeah.
And William, your case is here, no. Emma, the way ECOWAS, ne African Union, mission, no, IGP, Nejuma. No more born about so now more press conference no. In spite of so more kickers and no maybe CC ya ankoye but no man to IGP ne for. And yet well he's a diplomat now he was no. And yet nebema obia one year team when you are ba behwe abato so ebe conclude in that manner.
Well, the IGP was the head of the election security task force.
Yes.
So we all understood that he was responsible, and to be honest with you, some of the skirmishes compared to what has happened in the past, one would say it was a good in spite of those little ones that we had. Again, we're all looking out for a possibility. They see Wayawa so West Wagono. Say whether they're going to bring any of these Azugu boys and things to come and misbehave there. So people are ready for them. And I'm sure even if they came, they drove there, they saw that Usi Foma and Rasam Kasebetu. Who can be quite soldier named Kuya. Because he didn't believe he was a professional soldier. And if you're trying to enter the polling station, we had all read the statement from the CDS officer, no soldier should enter a polling station. So if you're going to go there, that means you are fake. But you're not a professional. But I'm saying that you won't say a uniform, let's say you're not a proper soldier. I mean, if you didn't take the orders of the CDS, then you may be a fake one. So then it became a fight. Unfortunately, no, uniform, let's say, if it's a proper uniform, that is the Ghana Armed Forces, and that is the Ugu Ghana Animasi. If you go and hit a policeman or hit a soldier, for me, it shouldn't happen because they are wearing the crown, you know what I say. But who assessing the Juma, he didn't do badly, in my estimation. But right now we have a job to do.
So you agree with the ECOWAS AU mission
in a way. But they were observing. No, they were observing. But we have 41,000 polling stations.
Yes.
The places people are any police even or immigration ni bako, fire service ni bako, prison officer bako. What can they do without any weapon? And Basabasaya also or dream say if I go in, that will be the idea bomb here. Basabasaya no, you don't know it will be trim. Will be our person we are election person or young kwasi. They know. Sebio. Now if you not call scuff will be about one person. What could you do before you call for reinforcement? Inti, I know there as a nation no. Ye bokokos emmo bia nkoye basabasa or ye strength for bibiania Electoral Commission gave even a number. I called the number at one point and made some complaints. What I say, and the American say we didn't get it perfect. Nipa say will be but of course some people were trying to stampede the elections. Who the ballot paper na nemu kwetio AJA PCs nibi an idea in a party to force and put ballot papers in the ballot box, and that wasn't going to happen this time round. Of course, then it would tend to a fight. And to say, it shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. But they do animal. If you are say IGP and born who more than tax force, security, maybe we would have ended up killing more people than we have ever done in our elections.
Honorable, and for the families, Ebia Sabre cry omutie ye ehwe omuhwe yeah I get it but ye per justice
Oh, I don't think us saying we had an overall peaceful election means that there won't be justice for those bereaved. And I think it's not just for those that were killed in this election, but in the previous election as well, where we're still waiting for the outcome of all these inquiries and so on and so forth. I think that for if you've lost someone before without having that justice or closure, it's difficult to move on. And I think that this is something that the NDC has continued to say a idea that has to be looked into. And for that, I believe that we will do the right thing. But in the meantime, I think when it comes to election observation, you can only make comments with regards to what you have seen.
Yeah.
And normally the reports that they present are based on baby awomokoye.
That's right.
Yes. And you can make a general overview, say in general, no say you observed or you heard, there were reports of. And then based on that, they come up with their conclusion. The thing with the report of an election observer team as well is it's always how to make it as diplomatic as possible as well. There's always that struggle.
Oh,
yeah.
What would you kind of pay?
Oh, I think that's always the tricky part when it comes to the reports that are released by the election observer teams. The other thing as well is reports. There's the immediate one, and then the one that comes up much later, which is a more detailed one, and maybe the more detailed one, which would be covering some of the area post election will include some of these other issues, because ultimately the intent behind the election observation is for the highest standards to be observed, and for recommendations to be made to the host country to improve upon what was perceived as perhaps weaknesses or lapses in what could have been done better.
Okay. Yeah, remember transitional period, me any expectation. By Emra Kole Clote and Persuaso. Na yenye some analysis be. We hear by now. I know say His Excellency Victor Smith also be say in this analysis, because social resource from what the enquiry free from 2016 ABC 2024 elections here. And let me just help with this data for Kole Clote parliamentary elections comparative analysis. 2016 elections, na polling stations are yet 2 about 1. Now 171. Total of the wards 9. And Honorable Zaneto, we need 98 polling stations, while MPP no we need 73 polling stations. And Honorable Zaneto Ajman Rollins, we need 5 wards, and MPP we need 4 wards. And
in terms of votes, Honorable Zaneto received 33,609, while the MPP candidate 29,112. So clearly, Honorable Zaneto Ajima Rollins, we need that 2016 about one with a vote difference of 4,497. I'm sure, and I can see say okay 2016, 2020 no so say na koye. Total polling stations 224, total wards 11. Honorable we need 167 polling stations, while MPP we need 57 polling stations, and this is in 2020. And I feel so Honorable Zaneto we need 10 wards, MPP we need 1 in 2020. So Honorable Zaneto Ajima Rollins received 39,113 votes. And MPP candidate Sunya 31,239, pretty close for a year 2020 Abano. But Honorable Zaneto Ajima Rollins winning parliamentary elections, with a difference of 7,874. Now, the almighty 2024 total polling stations 229, total wards 11. Honorable Zaneto Ajima Rollins we need 205 polling stations, whilst Valentina on one per Valentine a year 24 polling stations. Honorable Zaneto Ajima Rollins we need 11 wards. Hey, wards na a what a year
electoral areas na a year ward.
Electoral areas, yes. When you back this year, when you're 0, when you're shade. And when you Honorable Zaneto receive 39,997 votes, while Valentino Sunya 23,761. Your Excellency, share the way Honorable Zaneto Ajima Rollins a chinimu. So meaning that 2024 about 2 years, Abana we honorable winning. What did you soon with a difference of 16,281 and 42. In Vienna, best
at one point, when you say she had lost, you know they put up.
Yeah, they did. That's why we had to quickly. But the certified votes by the EC was the vote difference that was quite
much
huge.
higher.
Yeah.
Much higher than 16,000.
Yeah, it was 16,000. But yes, I remember. So by the time Sani Pakrono, I think it was part of an orchestrated plan.
Yeah.
In some areas, now one more day ballot boxes, stuff in our area. We were so vigilant. Say, the idea, I suspect, was that they would say Meluzi, and in the midst of all of that, then they do whatever they wanted to do. But by then, time news no breaking,
People are jubilating here.
But we had already collated over 80% of the results, so we knew we had won.
Yeah.
It's a honoma now we released our provisional because we realized now as a one more day plan just to mess about, create some kind of chaos as a distraction, and possibly now one more vote. They were celebrating while we had spent the last 5 or so hours sitting down and taking down all our results. Yes. Yeah. And see, at the time when some people were celebrating that they'd won some, I don't know, invisible, now we had our actual figures that we were working with.
Okay. Now, trajectory of events, from 2016 BC this year, a dear story net early.
Oh, and a lot of hard work. Honestly, I think we must have covered over 95% of the constituency on foot. And see, I think I recently checked the number of kilometers we did on one of my phones or said, I think we must have done about 700 kilometers.
What?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. I mean, on some days we were doing an average about 3 hours.
Wow.
3 hours every time. And just making sure we're speaking to everybody.
Wow.
We went to the campuses, we went to the clinics, we went to neighborhoods, we even went into houses where they said, if you're MPP for, we spoke to everyone. Because at the end of the day, you don't tag people and say, Nipa, we're on tomorrow. To be very honest, we actually spoke to people who were hardcore NPP who said this year they were going to vote for Mahama and myself. because that's how frustrated and fed up they were.
And were there lessons I will pick it from previous elections, Nana?
In terms of
our approach, 2024.
No. When it comes to the legwork, we always do that. You never sit at home and assume, say, or be better about Amal just for the sake of it. You know, you need to engage people. You know, ultimately, and you know, sometimes no baby in the say. So you realize that it's important to engage people. There are certain issues where people are frustrated, and then you actually explain to them, say, oh, a day esino and get MP juma a buy nanka so and kaom so one year juma ah 1 year into to abama ye na yembe ye de yetimi edifasa there. For example, the roads. But we say it's from the ministry. You understand? So vote for us to come into power and let's do it. Because baby, I know Yamano area school, I said that comes from the government policy. You know, and it comes from you need a government that's going to create a favorable environment that will allow companies to invest, that will allow for foreign direct investment. Because a lot of investors put everything on hold. Now one more train ashe the ABC election and beyond that, no, what NDC will put in place to stabilize the economy and clean up house. To give them that confidence, say, one more banner, they invest in Ghana, you know, it's not going to be at a loss. You know, and see, a lot of things went into this election. And I think ultimately the people realized, I suppose, that there was somebody who was more genuine and more authentic in terms of willing to serve and not just for the sake of, you know, maybe the MP.
What about the Rollins factor?
I won't throw that away. You know, it's part of my heritage, and I won't throw that away. But at the end of the day, your name can only get you so far, and you have to do your part. Yes. Yeah.
Your Excellency, also who do you see what Electoral say? I mean, trajectory of events, you know, yeah.
Well, we can say Zaneto has been very visible, increasingly visible in the constituency, you know. So it do stage, you know, first the man was ne papa ntina be a man for the Tomano, but herself, she has become very visible on the political, you know, landscape. It's not surprising that it has increased consistently. I mean, with the figures you are calling, I'm sure if she continues to want to be an MP for Kwame Minkah, maybe time will come out, she might get about 98% of the votes.
Yes, meaning the one the ordinary contest, the one who win be cry. Who win zero.
You know,
I mean, look at one of the electoral areas, you know, zero. Valentine. So,
your friend is
St. Valentino, St. Valentine, quarantine.
Quarantine.
For the quarantine, almost not worry.
Any time, Ghana, any time, we have a job to do for people of Ghana.
That's true.
That is why we are all, you know, in politics. Some people may go for a different reason, but this time round, Ghana for actually say, you know, they can be quiet, but they will make that decision.
So let's just say, no, be a quantity per se, or come with the fee.
No, I mean, you should go serious. You must be committed to seeing Ghana progress. You must be committed to seeing others to progress in their lives. That is why the people have given us the mandate. These people, a current crop of MPP leaders, Ghana for you. And anger, so be kind of two for kind. Come here before. Where before because say to me, Sika will be them for $5 million. Then you can imagine what other senior people had in their homes. Yep. So he was like, nobody is here. Then you are quiet to Nadia. You know, they ask questions. You put the FES agents, Moody Trumpers. Meanwhile, no, they pay more money. Some people are paying more money on other things. Eventually, because I prefer that than to do what I'm doing. These are some of the things that a buffon a woman and I'm but it's a lesson to all of us.
Yeah, but I did be what I can and your co-parliament near about transition. You know what I can say. Well, Obama said they will come. Numbers in the bay so great in parliament. Bet me Gina so dear Fred. Even Mampeninos to say the cost UK no. So me in Sembiano.
Almost say we don't have that type of system, prime minister, but I think we should be able to change the constitution. The leader should come and answer questions in the house because we are representing the people. So if we cannot have a direct unless once a year, no Ababa Kasa, no call, and ministers pay the answer question. The man himself, whoever the leader is, whether it's John Mahama, you should come to the house and address issues or answer questions. If they were doing those things, people would sit up.
Doc,
that's my opinion.
It's a tricky area, but sorry I'm doing this to you. What do you address? What do you have?
I think to an extent. That should be the case. I believe, say, we've created this kind of a system that almost creates this kind of a cushioned situation around these leaders. And unfortunately, most of the time, the appointees are one more executing the mandate of the president. Don't suffer the same extent of anger as the members of parliament do.
That's right.
And for some reason, the members of parliament seem to get the brunt of people's anger all the time. And half the time, Nipa Krono getting angry with their roads. And you say, there's a roads and highways minister. The dredging hasn't been done. There is a works and housing minister. But now, MPs now, because the people feel, say, you understand? And so that kind of anger is directed. So we must also let them feel the heat. And this business of, I have situations where there have been questions I've been wanting to ask certain ministers, and the questions remained unanswered for 4 years.
Wow.
And there's always this political game that's being played. When it comes to, we won't talk about it because we haven't worked on it. They will go and do something, then he'll come and answer the question based on the Omaye. Meanwhile, the question has been pending for 3 years.
Wow.
For example. I think that we need to look at how we do things differently. Are we doing it for the sake of ceremony, or do we truly want Ghanaians to have that level of transparency and accountability that they deserve? And further to that, what are the actions or sanctions that are put in place? Because so for example, with Public Accounts Committee, for example, you have all the agencies, the ministers and everything, they come before the Public Accounts Committee. But who say Ministry B, some money was not spent as it should have been, it was misappropriated or something. At the end of the day, there isn't that binding aspect of things at Parliament. So these are the recommendations of Parliament. And then guess what? The person who is now in trouble is the one who decides whether or not they will do something about it. We need to look at the system a little bit differently, so that when we come out with findings that say that political will, beyond that, there's a system in place that says this and this and this has to be done. But if you have a situation where, for example, the whole concept of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice should be decoupled. And if you look at what happened with this special prosecutor thing, which became an annex to the Attorney General,
that's right.
It means that the government can decide we won't deal with this issue, and then it dies. And I think that we really need to look at things from the point of view of sometimes, I bear to say, obi wa opposition more, or say, I was say so bedi power mo say ade yen jana sa, because I'm say fine,
power can be tricky.
Power. But with that level of responsibility and knowing what we have seen over the years, I was say if I dream say, listen, what is in the best interest of Ghanaians when it comes to good governance and pillars of good governance, including accountability and integrity, transparency, all these other things that make sure, say, what you are doing as a representative of the people is in the best interest of the people, is cost effective, is timely, and it's not a case of you have the power into the opposite or
but you bet me GDA our more NDC MPs more because look madam na opposition as minority. Now we hold a bind to account more to two questions more today more work out and no maybe I'm money adrian but dying the ditch Ghana for you now say more absolute majority to the sense that people shall say nickname President Mahama say supremo leader. Absolute majority. Can we trust you to hold yourself to account?
Well, some of us will definitely be doing so. But I believe that as a collective, based on what President Mahama himself has said, I think there will be no wriggle room for that kind of misbehaving. But I think that the people of Ghana must not go to sleep. We need to have citizenry that is fully engaged in the governance of this country. As a citizen, we're not just voting.
That's right.
In between elections is when you really need to have your eyes on the ball and demand that the right thing is done. Inti my fan say, one more yard election by you between it.
But citizen,
No, we must demand the right things being done.
Citizen, Yana, then in terms of Mekakra and Kodruba be obedient.
Trust me.
Yana Domano.
Trust me, it can happen if we all decide, say, as people in this country, no, we will not allow our rights to be abused by people in power. It can be done.
Okay.
And it can be done at the assembly level. It can be done whether it's at the district, municipal level. It can be done when it comes to the ministries. It can be done by petitioning parliament. It can be done, there are so many methods by which you can actually, as a citizen, make sure that the right thing is being done. And the more we do that, the more pressure is put on the government. And when I say government, the three arms of government. I am a man who said, listen, the people of Ghana are paying more attention and are demanding certain things of us. It makes it difficult for people to hide behind the so-called ignorance of the public and misbehave.
Your Excellency, your view can we trust the NDC in Parliament? Some will hold them accountable.
But why not? They said they've been trying to do that, and then say,
I don't know opposition.
Well, but they were still in Parliament. They were not in opposition.
Number
they were in government.
Okay, number your minority.
Yeah, exactly. That's more like they're in government. And then they say, we need more people to think like Honorable Zaneto is saying in the House. People, President Kunyano won't work for this country. And he say MPP for now, they came together to petition the president to remove the finance minister at some point. And somehow, when they were called in camera, they decided to turn it around again. And that would have been a great opportunity for them. Those MP people who are listening, it may have maybe reduced the deficit, but their failure to uphold that type of high level of, if you like, discipline, that a leadership who were controlling them by heart, they didn't help this country. They denied us. Ken Oforiatta stayed there slightly longer than much longer than he should have remained there.
It can't be no more.
And was say Ghana Sikasem.
Say can't be no marry no.
No president, vice president, because he is not man enough. I mentioned that Baumia. He should have told the president in the face that this is the man causing the problem for the country in terms of managing our finances. But he wasn't bold enough. So he decided to shift to digitalization. Say, economy meant for Minkah because Mama Jumano. Whether he could have done it or not, I can't say now. But he kept talking about digitalization. Eventually, the gates failed to open for him. Wow. Now, once the gates failed to open, he said, you can go part to Dornum. You are not going nowhere. And that's what has happened to him.
Oh. Akapunechi.
That's what happened to him.
It was your for Dwaboase, the power 97.9. I'm not for so much Philly show. No. Hey! Also, Kwame, now where Rollins combination. So where Rollins combination, I would never studio hell. A year. Godwin Akogan, our deputy communications officer, NDC Amanyuko, or the message about especially to you, Honorable Dr. Zaneto Ajima Rollins. So I say, Kwame, read it as I've written this message. The last English I have in my closet is what I've sent to you. So here we go. I say, Kwame, tell Zaneto I love and salute her for her victory and the margin. I wish her well. Simple like that.
Simple.
Thank you. I know. I was wondering.
So I'm sure your phones are flooded with congratulatory messages in the home corner.
Debbie, to be very honest, from the moment we knew we had won, there was just a little bit of unease in my tummy because I started to feel this is real. And that burden of responsibility that we hold is so huge now. And so, yes, menyaje, but enyese mitumra yemede. Because I'm very much aware of the challenge that we face and what we have to put in. It's going to be a tough one. Let's not deceive ourselves. This is not going to be an easy ride. Our willingness to do what has to be done is what will make Ghanaians have confidence in our system again. And we owe it to the people of Ghana. We owe it to the youth to have a belief in the future again. Because the number of young people are here call around that they just felt like there was no hope. We need to restore that. And that is a huge thing that lies on our shoulders. Inti, Debbie, Etimidadie is not part of it. It's. I'm thankful that we've won. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm thankful we've won.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy that we've won by such a margin.
Yeah.
But that margin is also a huge deal of responsibility.
Yeah.
And we must be careful that even us, we try and correct things. We don't abuse that extent of power that we have.
Very well. Yeah, the collect the baby, you know, Your Excellency, what's a chat for? Wabra Eden Community.
On a light note, Mikaya Sembia happened in 1996, 5 elections. Was it 96 elections, you know. Now, you are bayina that time I mean, Mamina Juma. And I'm a chimba into me napo. Butterflies in my stomach. So now it looked as if they were beating us, Kufone JJ. Now, this she was a young lady then.
I'm still
young lady. Of course, around a Sunday and a Paul. Now, just a nipa sway she. Let me tell you after say, see me die po. And I say, oh, ye men of little faith. This
Wow.
young lady.
She said that.
I know, quite sorry.
Wow.
Of course, sorry, within an hour, no. Let me get you out to boom. Now, this is a jubilation attack. Oh, yesterday at 10 tables, you know.
Wow.
But at the time, now, of course, I said, we want the pressure says, get you out and you're good.
Wow.
Go for any year.
Oh, ye men of little
Ye
faith.
men of little faith. I'm not going to say.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And today, I mean, we are in very serious a position to deliver this country. I know the John Mahama said, help me rescue Ghana.
Yeah.
And we're going to help him rescue this country.
Very well. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you so much.
Now, me was surprise guest who are collect clotte chairman was say. Somebody can say you the collect clotte.
Osudoku Mayweather.
Osudoku Mayweather.
4-time assembly member for Osudoku. No.
Osudoku Mayweather.
That's right. Osudoku is
Anyway,
not very
or joining here studio now. Yatina no this wabra yeden komo no
because he predicted this gap.
He did.
And I thought, gosh, that's a very huge you to predict.
Wow.
They're not all kind of, I just thought, hey, chairman, but here he is.
Chairman here, Osudoku Mayweather. Chairman, then now share petatakrem ehunu say gap no be so sa.
Nyame na yikyerɛ me.
Hallelujah.
Now just all ye men of little faith, no. Now be now for in the future.
That's right.
Wow, Winway, what does it mean for collect clothing persuasion? I mean, for you, the executives, and then the entire amount for more collect clothing.
Me de ka me de asedabe manyame. Say adia oyikyerɛ me no. Man fancy.
Wow.
Me can 2 years back.
It's true.
2 years.
And say ebra ni no all chiche sika ni ade na nkrofo ka say ye be Dr. Belluzu na ade nyame de who can make a say ni no e be win over 16,000 votes.
Wow.
So me I was not afraid of Ninwe because
Ninwe
no me na ko election back me no ko assembly elections me winning.
Wow.
Yes. Or support to be against me or assembly. Me winning. Yes.
And now nim no.
Oh, me no.
And now nim baby I dey can ono babo de.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm de kan.
Yes.
And what de.
Wadwane.
It's honorable worry.
Why we? Oh, we.
Honorable.
Me na me honorable.
That's right. That's right.
And at the national level, John Mahama is the president elect.
Yeah.
And then I work for.
Oh, ono so sa ono so o say ono an o say oba e na waba e na
and also predict ya na.
Oh, say me ka say 60 so ono so over 60 na 60 na for both of them.
If I'm going to say parliamentary kwana predict.
That for both of them.
Wow.
Well,
Chama me no. Yenti sorry.
Yes.
Yenti sorry.
Okay, me train say mama ji lands na. Omo ji na. Me pa no chono mama.
Me dey atia sorry. Me na me interpreter. Wow, to so.
Make us say me da clote call for me da omo ase pa. Say at least omo onyansa. Omo adwen. Because omo ankasa omo nim say sika na ye chiche ma omo no. Nipa na o che sika na enye ni dia. Yankasa yen sika. taxpayers money ɛna yɛ wia ɛna yɛ de ama no ɛna ɔma oketua bi wɔ mu wanje a wayɛ wo ho awɔ sɛ wogi but da no so ana wayɛ the right thing ɛno na mo yɛ no meti room bi menim say true and ɛnyɛ true meti say that night no or collapse here my hospital. I don't know whether it is true or not.
Did his medical card work?
Oh, that card they have cancelled it.
Wow, I love this. And in the end, we are no.
You ask my one, so would you be a chair?
Yeah.
Dinechi, ni wakume munyina. No matter what.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm making this statement for our constituency executives. So would you be a chair? Men do we hear from court echi na fan di nipa nechi because this woman suffered a lot from we the constituency, some of we the constituency executives.
Wow.
By the grace of God, she's still true.
Constituency executives.
Yes.
I don't know where they. My
brother, what happened at the police station? At the police station during the security elections.
Special voting.
Yeah. Special voting.
Yeah.
It was very bad.
Yes,
yeah, constituency executives. Now, omu catch nkofo say vote for Mama and vote for Ninwe.
What will be the motivation?
We have witnesses. We have people who are ready to say it when if they call them.
Wow.
But
disciplinary
and fine.
No, as chairman, disciplinary action be any war for normal bisa. I mean, it's a war evidence.
Oh, evidence there were
some more.
Say I will election. So we'll go there.
Oh, okay.
We will go there.
We
will go there. Because monkey no go work, we bamboo will chop.
On fire.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Osudoku Mayweather. Doctor.
Say I'm the prophet in Sukanwo.
Prophet Osudoku Mayweather. Thank you so much, Chairman. And they will bring you that. Honorable, Yadisi and what's a chat for?
I'm saying, I feel. Baby, during the day, I think the next thing is Christmas and New Year.
That's right.
My part Charles say, in general, let us just be circumspect. Na either say, my and say Niema, and I say, please don't go and be driving or anything like that. Let's just be a little bit. Let's manage your home. By next year, 7th January, swearing in. That's
right.
Yes. Nkwani asunjemu na ye best say yema NDC government no enye juma na one ma edibone no. Let's deal with them the right way.
That's right.
Mema and Mayor to say we've taken the law into our own hands and create a situation where now we are the ones who end up having problems with the law.
Yeah.
The right thing will be done.
All right.
Yes.
Very well. Thank you so much, Honorable Dr. Zaneto Ajima Rollins. And,
thank you.
I mean, a while ago to Anna, Your Excellency Victor Smith, and you made him a new two on account because I hope upon it too many more. Clearly. Obi your TV to be a bit more tested. But me da say, oh, brand new adage. On come on dead. It may be a make sure be embassy over court. And so unfortunately, time there. This the New Year's resolution is a now it should be
Hey, now what you do? Maybe every 3 months. Yes, every 3 months because we just have to be a bit careful about how we promise things. So that we can deliver.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Abusani Edimu Besimidiane Kwame Minkah. Ajumani Power near or the Power Morning Bramo Radio So TV so your Bobo Numu Sini to bring your one or no. To be a source of Brunya, you will be a mama fine. Bye bye.